Whenever you're ready, Vice Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'm going to call this meeting of the administrative workshop to order. I'll be sitting in for the mayor, who's out on a research tour. First up, we're going to have, we got to do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yes.
It's been a while since. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now we'll move on to the roll call, please. Carly.
Nidinger,
Here.
McAleese,
Here.
Thompson,
Here.
Reed,
Here.
Penny.
Okay, now we'll have Heather come up and talk to us about the impact of the proposed property tax reform that's going on in Tallahassee.
Good morning, everyone. Morning.
And before you get into this, I just want to tell you, I've loved this presentation.
Thank you.
Absolutely love it. In fact, I've asked Carly to do some tweaks for me to take to Tallahassee next week,
Nice.
so it's really good. So
Well, I
thank you.
can't take credit for all of it. Kelly helped me with all the graphics and stuff, so I want to give credit where credit's due. Awesome. I gave her the text, and she made it look so nice. So as you guys all know, property tax reform is a hot topic right now. The legislature's back in action, so they're going to be discussing all of these bills as they work their way through. The eventual plan is for everybody to vote in November. Not on all of these. There's no way that these are all going to make its way to the ballot. So they're going to work through them and decide what it is they're going to put in front of the voters. So I wanted you all to be familiar with what's out there, so that as you're talking to your constituents, people in your community, you can form your own opinions and be knowledgeable about all these. So there's quite a few. We'll just go down the list in order. This first one, number 201, this is a big one. This is going to eliminate all non-school homestead property taxes, and it would hit our city for $1 million. You know, hopefully none of these come to pass that hurt us too badly, because we'll have to make some really hard decisions. As we go down the list, you'll see there are a couple of them that have a huge impact like this. Some of them not so much, and that's based on the composition of your community here. So these estimates are from the property appraiser's website. They have a really neat tool that they've sent out where you can put in your community and select which one of these bills that you want to look at, and that's where we got these estimates from. I suppose the property appraiser's office had gotten so many questions of what does this mean for us. They created this tool, so we just made this slideshow out of their estimates. It's not something that I came up with. I can't take credit for that.
So, in your understanding, this would be all the homesteaded homes in our community, okay, and how this HJR impacts us. So this is just those homesteaded homes
So this bill,
for this particular bill.
yeah, so if
Okay.
this bill goes all the way through, that's what this one says.
Okay,
They're trying to eliminate all non-school homestead property taxes.
okay,
So in your community, I did some research from the Pinellas County Economic Development, and about half of your properties here are owners, not renters.
Homestead.
mean
We
they're
don't- I
homestead or
don't-
just owners?
I don't have that
You don't have that,
specific
that's
of
fine.
information,
Okay.
but I do know that the homes are owned, close to half.
Okay,
So that's quite a bit, you know, quite a bit of the properties here. So this one is similar to the number 201. The difference here is that it phases in over 10 years. So instead of that big change coming in the first year, this would phase out over a 10-year period. With each year, the homeowners would get an additional $100,000 exemption on their property. So it hits us hard in the first year, and then all of them will be gone after 10 years. All of the homestead
but
property
is
taxes.
not each of the 10 years will be the almost 800,000?
That will be sustained throughout that period,
Well, it would be.
and then at the end of it, you know, we wouldn't be getting any homestead property taxes anymore.
Okay, so that's huge.
It's
All right.
huge.
All right,
Yes. So that one, HJR 203, that's at almost 800,000 in the first year. And then at the end of that time period, based on the changes in the market and the property values, it would be up to 2.9 million is what they're estimating. Assuming a 3% growth rate at the end of that 10 years where we would have gotten $2.9 million, we won't have anything for those taxes. So these are huge. I mean, these are huge impacts to our budget. The next one is for senior citizens. Your city has an average age of 69.8 years old. That's from Pinellas County Economic Development. So you have quite a few senior citizens here. So that's why we have such a large impact as well. This one, HCR number 205, that has you had a loss of $972,000.
Just for 1 year? It would all happen in 1 year?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, and then and then we have to deal with that.
Yeah, no, I get that, no.
After
We
that.
have to live with that
We have to
loss
live
of
with that.
income.
Yes, exactly.
First year impact.
Yeah, but the first year impact is huge for us.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. So going on down the list, HDI 207. This is 25% of the assessed value. So it's current homeowners, their taxes would be adjusted, and then also anybody that comes to the city and buys new property. This is $342,000. So, the non-school property taxes would be preserved, but that doesn't impact us at all. So all of
Right.
these are, for the city's portion of the tax bill, $342,000. Number 209. This one also has a huge impact on our city. It says that if you've got property insurance on your property, on your homesteaded property, you get an additional $100,000 exemption. So again, we'll see a loss of $1 million in revenue the first year. So HJR 211 has to do with portability. This one doesn't benefit, I mean, it doesn't hurt us as badly. And that could be just the change in market. That this would be an impact to our city for people that live somewhere else and then move to here. So I suppose that's why it doesn't hurt us as bad. So not that I'm betting or want any one of these really necessarily to pass, but I would be in favor of this one with the least amount of a budget decrease.
So not having been raised in Florida and knowing all the rules, this is a rule where when you already own a property in Florida somewhere else, and then you move to our city, you carry over your property tax savings of some type of benefit? Thank you.
Yep.
Only for homesteaded homes.
Only on,
You homestead your home, so if you owned a property and it wasn't homesteaded, you don't get that portability benefit.
okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah, so if you're homestead somewhere else and you're now creating your homestead here in the city, that's why you would be able to transfer that here.
Okay.
So HJR 213, it limits the growth. So right now the increase is allowed at 3% per year for homesteaded properties and 10% a year for non-homestead property with a 15% cap over 3 years. So what this does is instead of having that cap of 3% each year, it spreads the 3% over 3 years. So it's a slower increase. And then for the non-homesteaded properties, it's slower as well, over 3 years. So this one, it slows the burn a little bit, but we still would have a loss from this one of about $138,000.
Is that would be for the first year, and then it would continue after that because the growth would be lower?
Well, it's hard to estimate that because we don't know what the growth in the market is going to be and the property values. But I would say it's safe to say that loss would increase over time.
It would increase, okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all right, thank you.
Yes. So the last one here is a Senate Bill 550. This is for tangible personal property taxes. This would hit the businesses and it impacts the businesses in our city. They're the ones that pay a lot in tangible personal property taxes. So that would be a loss of $205,000. So as I said in the beginning of this presentation, not all of these are going to be put in front of the voters. I believe that they've all been filed as of last week. And so now the legislature's discussing them all. They're vetting them. They're picking and choosing things that they'd like to change. I'm trying to follow the bills as closely as I can, but it's possible that from the time this presentation was made till now, they've already made changes to what they're proposing. So that's going to be the situation as we move forward. I'll try to keep you updated as much as I possibly can. But the point of why I wanted to put this in front of you is for you to know that the property appraiser has done this for all of the municipalities in Pinellas. So if you have people that don't know about this in other communities, you're welcome to bring this to their attention. But also to know how much this would impact our little city.
Heather, have you shared the link with everybody on that property appraiser?
I haven't.
I think that'd be a good idea.
I will
I would encourage
definitely
everybody to actually get in there and play with it. It's very enlightening to what our neighboring cities also have as revenue.
I mean, once this
things.
goes in, whatever one they choose, once it goes in front of the voter, it's a lock, right? I mean, because they're getting less property taxes.
Well, yeah, that'd be the case. I personally think that, I was in a meeting with Senator Hooper back when I was up there in December, I want to say. He said he thinks the Senate maybe has a stomach for a $50,000 additional homestead exemption. You know, all these other things, I don't know what they're, I really don't know what's going on. I've actually been asked by the Florida League of Cities to write an op-ed on this whole thing, which I've submitted, waiting for tweaking. But to me, it's just crazy. We're eliminating all these taxes, but yet not giving cities any way whatsoever to make it up. You're not releasing restricted revenue sources. We're not giving any new ways to make revenue sources. And then to me, the kicker of the whole thing is none of these bills have any implementing language. It's pass the bill, then give it to the voters pass it, then the next session will come back and figure out how to make it into a law. Which to me is like patching the tire before it's got a leak. You don't know where the hole's gonna go, so you put it anywhere and hope for the best. I mean, it's crazy. So I encourage everybody to stay really engaged in this because, you know, people are like, oh, you're falling for taxes. No, I'm not for taxes. I'd love to have eliminated every damn tax I have to pay, but tell me how I'm gonna keep the city funded and given essential services in the absence of taxes. That's what I'm opposed to. So I just encourage everybody to get involved in it and stay on top of it.
Has this got anything to do with, like, the legislators trying to take over what goes on in the cities?
It's constant clawback on home rule. It's nothing but.
Because I mean, anybody who's paying taxes is going to try to get, if they pass anything, they're going to ask for lower taxes.
Sure.
There's no question.
It's human nature. But if it means lower taxes, but I got to charge you every month for fire protection, are you going to be happy with that? I mean, there's
See,
no,
they're
no
not looking
answers.
at the other side of
Yeah,
it.
there's no answers as to how, and the key is all these bills, if I'm not mistaken, all of them have a provision that you can't reduce law enforcement or first responders. So that's our largest expense out of our property taxes, and now we're going to reduce our property taxes and tell us, not that I would advocate cutting first responders anyway. The bills it further hand ties, communities like ours, or all cities for that matter, on ways they can make up the revenue or where they can cut, so. It's one of the craziest things I've seen in the years I've been around this game. It's crazy.
Yes.
It's like every year it's another stretch at home rule,
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and that's it. So, no one that I've seen, the articles I've read, the things that I've been following, I haven't seen anywhere where anyone has explained how the cities are supposed to make up this revenue. Anecdotally, I've heard that the state budget is earmarking money to send back to the small municipalities. If this passes, as a result of this, they would, allocate some money to the cities, but I can't imagine that it's gonna be enough to make us whole. I don't know if there's going to be restrictions on that money. We don't know. We don't have the answer to that. I've heard a lot of people speculate what the state could do. As the vice mayor alluded to, we could create special assessments that says, you want us to keep cutting the grass? Well, we're gonna have to charge you every property X amount. For fire services, for everything, we would, and then you get a bad reputation because you're nickel and diming everybody for every little thing.
It's a shell game.
Yeah. And what we really would hate to have to do is to reduce or eliminate services. We don't want to cut staff. We don't want to stall projects that you guys have, planned out years ahead. So we're hoping that maybe it's not gonna be so bad, and that potentially the state would kick in some funding. But again, we don't know, and we don't know what the restrictions would be, or even the process for submitting. You know, do we have to submit to the state and say, we have this project that we were planning, can we have the money? I don't know, you know, and it's just like the Vice Mayor said, this is the first step that they've taken to put it out there that they want property taxes to be reformed, but then how do we deal with it? And that's the big question, so.
Every one of these has passed their committees to go onto the floor. I was on a legislative call with the Florida League. In fact, every Monday, the Florida League has a legislative call update during session. And I'll make sure the link comes out if you don't already get it. I would encourage you to listen in because it gives a really good update on what, it's an hour-long call, but typically finance side is done first, so you can get off it in 15, 20 minutes. It'll tell you where every bill is going. You can also track all the bills on the Florida House of Representatives site and put in the bill number and hit tracking, and it'll give you updates to your email, what's going on. I mean, this is the biggest issue I've seen in a long time for us. I mean, it's coming right at our main revenue source with no excuse, no answers on how we're gonna make it up. So it's all hands on deck on this one.
What is our budget a year?
For ad valorem?
Yeah.
We had, like, in fiscal year '24, we had like almost 4.5 million
Okay.
in ad valorem revenue.
So,
A million out of that is big.
It's huge.
yeah, it's absolutely enormous. All right.
Is there anybody who's, that you know of on the legislature that is really opposed to this?
Not that I'm aware of.
They're all kind of jumping right in.
Well, it's the House. The
Yeah.
House is like, take orders. Get in line, take orders, do what you're told. The Senate so far, to my knowledge, as of yesterday, hasn't really done much of anything. It's, you know, they're waiting to see what happens in the House. Because remember, it passed the House, it's got to go to the Senate. And the Senate's going to put their
We
mark on
voted
it.
for these people. It's pretty sad. Pretty sad.
So,
Well, so if you guys have any questions, I'll be happy to help. I know, like, Vice Mayor is very active, so he asked for a lot of the financial information early, but I'll be glad to provide it to anybody that needs it. Again, I'm following the bills just like he is. There is that bill tracker. It's pretty neat. Like, if you're looking at, you know, number 201, it shows the related bills. So it has a section where it shows all the other ones that are.
That's on the property appraiser's site or just?
Florida House of Representatives.
Oh, right, you're right.
And then I'll send you the link that shows that
Yeah.
where I got the details of these calculations from as well. Because I think that's so useful. I'm really thankful that the property appraiser was able to create something like that for us.
That's actually a wonderful tool. I wonder if any other county appraisers have done that for the, but it's really good.
Yeah.
It is. It's really neat that they were able to do that. So I think that's it for me, unless you guys have any other questions.
Anybody have anything else for us? No? Thanks so much, Heather.
Okay.
It's really great.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you very
That's
much.
a good presentation.
Okay, next up, we have the charter review process.
That would be me. Do y'all want me to come down there?
Yeah, why don't you come on
Okay,
down?
I can come down there.
Because the last time we had charter review, that's how I got into this
I
racket. I ended up
know.
being chairman of the charter review.
Got you in there, and that was the end of
Yeah,
it.
that was it.
Showed up and never left.
You say it like it's a bad thing.
Just joking. I'm just joking. That was a very interesting charter review process, if you remember that.
I do indeed.
Yeah, it was interesting. So we are scheduled to do charter review. We do it every 6 years, which is a stipulation set forth in our charter. I'm just gonna give a brief introduction. This is more almost letting you all know that the staff needs to begin that process and sort of get your blessing to do that. And just let you know a couple of quick things on it. So the commission will need to establish the charter review process for this year by resolution, so I will have one for you all on the February agenda to set that up. There are 9 committee members and a maximum of 1 current and 1 past member of the commission that can serve. There don't have to be both of those, but that's the maximum. So keep that in mind. Part of the city's responsibility and part of what the charter actually calls out specifically is part of the city's responsibility and the commission's responsibility is to help solicit members for that. So we will put out a public call for applications for members to serve. If we get more than 9, whatever we get, we will bring into you. If you end up with more than 9, you'll need to do like a ballot and ranking to
Okay.
choose the members that you would like. It's a little different each year. I actually think last time, I'm not sure that we had more. We may have had 1 or 2 extra to do a ballot ranking. I'd have to go back and look. But it will be up to you all to pick those members. The process runs through the spring, and then the committee will present a report or create a report for you all of their findings in reviewing the city charter.
So all 9 members are from the public?
Yes, all 9 members must be registered voters within the city.
Okay, thank you.
And so they will set up their own meeting schedule once they've
Was
all
there
met the
9
first
when
time.
you did it? Was 9, okay.
There has to be.
But does that include the commissioner?
Yes.
That
Yeah.
includes the past and
There was
the,
no, if I remember correctly, there was no current or past commissioner on it.
I don't think there was. I think the only thing that's called out for that is that if there's a member of the commission serving, that is the person that schedules and calls to order the first meeting. So as far as I remember, I did it.
Yeah.
Because,
wasn't Dan on that?
no, he attended
He attended,
and
but
wanted to
he
speak
wasn't
a lot.
officially on that committee.
He wasn't aware of that, but no, he wasn't.
Yeah, he wasn't aware of that,
Yeah.
that's true.
He wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, but I remember there was a lot of
It
discussion.
was contentious, yeah.
Yeah,
It was contentious. And so if there's not a member, then the city clerk just does it, and we just schedule and call to order the first meeting. And then the first order of business is to choose a chairperson and a vice chair, and then they take over and staff just follows. So if none of you are able to, there's a lot going on in terms of advocacy, and it's not a short process. There's several meetings through the spring. They can range from 30 minutes to several hours. It really depends on how deep into the charter the committee wants to go. So if you all are not able to, we can do it without a member of the commission. But if anybody is interested, that would be something that you all could discuss, not necessarily today. But one of you could be on.
How many pages is the charter, roughly?
It's not very long.
Okay, because you're
I wanna
reviewing each bullet item or
You,
whatever.
yeah, you're
We went
going.
through the
Yeah, you go
whole
line by
whole
line.
charter,
Yeah,
line-
yeah, yeah.
line by line,
I
okay.
mean, it's 8 to 10 pages, depending on how
Oh,
big of a font you
okay,
do.
I was
It's
thinking
not-
hundreds.
No,
All right.
it's not. No, it's not.
Okay.
And so typically in the first meeting, we try to set a schedule. Staff will come in with the suggestion of, breaking it up, doing 2 to 3 articles each meeting. But then sometimes staff has, the committee will have a question that staff will need to then research, and so then we'll come back at the next one and go, okay, we looked this up. So the city provides staff support and legal support
Okay.
through the committee's process. So
Okay.
it really depends. Some committees have gone through relatively quickly, and some have not. We actually had a referendum after the last process, so they came up with changes. The commission wanted to put it on the ballot. We did a referendum ballot. Some stuff changed. Some years it's like, no, we're good with this, and we just go through. It really depends.
We had 10 changes, the commission approved all 10, and the voters approved all 10. So,
So when does this process start?
So I'd like to put a resolution on for you all in February to establish it. And then we will be calling for applications. We tend to start in March. The meetings run kind of March to May, and then we try to have the report done for you all in June.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So,
so if any changes can go to the ballot on November.
yes, because I would need to know
Yeah.
by the fall if there are gonna be changes going onto the ballot, because getting those changes done and approved on the ballot takes me several months. So I need to do that in the fall.
Meetings are here?
The meetings are here, yep,
All right.
At this
at this table.
All right.
Yep. So, I don't necessarily need anything, I just wanted to let you all know that we are beginning sort of the background work on that process, and items will be coming before you, to sort of get it really.
how
kicked
did you
off in
advertise
February.
for that?
How, we put it,
Website?
yeah, website, Facebook,
I saw it on the community bulletin board on Shore Drive.
Yeah, we
I was
kinda-
taking a walk. I'm like, well, that seems interesting.
we'll send
What was
out
I thinking?
flyers to the
Now we
community
know how we
managers,
got
I know, right?
So when you did it, 6 years ago or 12 years ago?
6 years ago.
6 years.
Technically 7, but
Yeah,
yes.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, all
That's
right.
right, because it was a year before I ran.
Well, and also we were technically scheduled to do this last year, but coming off of the storms, we came
Off
to
the
you
air.
all
Right.
in the spring and said we don't think this is a great time,
Yeah.
especially needing 9 residents to come in and serve at a time when a lot of people were displaced. It also coincided with union negotiations, which are every 3 years, and this being every 6, it meant every other charter review, we were doing both at the same time. And so staff asked for y'all's approval to push it
Move
one
it 1
year,
year.
so now it won't conflict with the union, and the community is a little bit more settled
Yes.
than we were last year. We felt it would be very difficult to do the charter review process, given the fact that the damage was so extreme last year, so.
What if you don't get 9?
Keep asking until
You
we
have to-
do, yeah. We will set a deadline for applications to be due. If we don't have 9 by then, we'll just reopen and ask you all to go beg your friends, I guess, beg people, I don't know what else to do, yeah. if-
Probably get 9 out of Valenti's at a good happy.
I know. So, so I also, the other thing I wanted to mention is this would be a decent time for you all to sort of read through the charter. If you have any questions, or if you have any comments of like, maybe they could look at this, or I'd love their thoughts on this, you can absolutely bring those forward and say, we'd love the community's thoughts on this section, or even you can make suggestions of, I'd like, what would they consider this? So you can talk to staff about that, but it just, if you have some free time and would like some light reading, read through the charter to familiarize yourself with it. It's very short, and it's broken up into sections, so it's a very easy read. Each article is, 5 sentences. I mean, it's not very long, and it's all very quick to the point. You'll do this on this date, this will be this will be this. So just in case you all would like to have feedback on the process, you're able to. So I just wanted to kind of introduce you all to that and let you know that it's about to kick off.
Thank you.
So we will be doing that. So, y'all have any questions? No. I'll email you the charter.
Oh, I was gonna ask you to
Sorry,
print me one.
no,
but
I mean, I
email
can print
me.
you one also, but I'll email you all the charter so that you have it.
That's awesome.
So,
I think that was something that you sent me when I got elected.
yes,
think
and it would be in that book
In
also.
the
Yeah.
book you gave
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, it's
okay.
on the
Yeah.
website.
It's on the
Yeah.
website,
Website,
it's on
yeah.
the code website, the code online, it's in there as well.
Okay, yeah,
So I'll email it to you.
awesome, thank you.
All right, thank you. Next up, 2026 spring events. I assume
Stay,
Keep it
that's
here.
okay.
Sean coming up for this
Sean,
too,
he
or
can if he
free
wants to,
chief?
so, I mean, he can.
Everybody,
Okay.
Take me a minute. Yeah.
So typically with the block party, we have worked on scheduling kind of in late fall because a lot of our vendors are external for that. The way that we've held it in the past, it's been a car show and food trucks and whatnot. We spoke to you all in the fall about doing something a little bit different for this year's block party, so it's not as external. So we were able to kind of get through the holidays before picking a date. We'd like to suggest March 7th. It's a Saturday. And so staff has already kind of started looking at vendors. We've got some stuff earmarked. We're working on refreshments with the firefighters union providing those. But my big thing right now is getting your blessing on a date so that we can get out a save the date and really start confirming our plans. So,
It's earlier than we usually do it, right?
I mean, we've done it anywhere from early March to early April. It's kind of moved around. We used to try to do it in early March because the weather would be nicer, but in years where there's an election, that has gotten a little bit awkward because like that Saturday would be the Saturday. If we were having an election this year, it would be the Saturday before the election, which then made it.
I think
We
the
got a
last
lot of
one we
questions
had was like
about
that.
Yeah, now I remember.
campaigning there, which I mean, you're like it just. But we don't have an election, so it's not a concern either way of it, kind of being awkward at all with candidates and whatnot. So we just thought that Saturday would be a decent Saturday, early enough to catch people before they leave town. We just try to catch people before they leave
Yeah.
for the summer.
Excellent.
So that's the goal, is to try to get as many.
And nothing else is scheduled that you know of?
Right.
The Grand
I
Prix
know.
is earlier. We don't ever want to conflict with the Grand Prix because no one will come. The Grand Prix is earlier. That's the main
Well,
one.
I think we have
that check.
consensus on the 7th of March, don't we?
Absolutely.
I checked with Mayor Penny. He's good with that date as well. So
And where will it be?
it will be here.
Okay.
So we block off from like just past the tennis courts to basically just past City Hall.
Okay.
So we'll use the parking lot, the street, and the area in front of both parks.
Okay.
Like similar to the
Christmas.
the trunk or treat.
Oh,
Yeah.
trunk or treat.
Say, yeah,
What
yeah.
did we decide that we were gonna do differently? I don't remember.
So we're not going to do a car show.
Right.
The car show vendor that we had been using retired, and it was getting increasingly difficult to get good participation in events like car shows. And the food trucks tend to be somewhat hit and miss. They're
proud.
they all want minimums,
Oh,
minimum
sure.
amounts, and if you don't hit that, they want the city to make it up, and it's very difficult for us to guarantee what you're going to get.
Right.
And in terms of events for food trucks, we are relatively small. So they want events where you're going to get thousands of people, and we get hundreds.
Yeah.
So it's a fight every year to try to get food trucks, and then the food, when it comes, it's not necessarily as kid friendly as a lot of our families would like. It's hard to get kid friendly food trucks because, like I said, they're wanting to go to big festivals and whatnot. So changing the food to be almost concession style, working with the union to do that, and then bringing in more kind of kid events, and then replacing the car show with more of a touch a truck kind of event, which is bringing in as many kind of cool vehicles from internally, our partner organizations, whatever, and sort of filling the parking lot with trucks that kids can climb in and take pictures and talk to police officers. I mean, we'll ask for garbage trucks. We'll bring over construction equipment. We'll just kind of fill the area with as many kind of cool vehicles as we can.
And with the union doing, hamburgers, hot dogs and stuff like that, it's, the cost is way low. It
It's-
just makes it easier
yeah,
for
it's just
the
something that's
families
a
and
good
all that,
idea.
we
Don't
don't.
we usually have an extrication? I mean, that's when I
Yeah,
just
we'll do.
carved
Yeah,
out
public
one.
safety will have. Yes. Well, we may use a dummy. We may use a dummy.
That was
So you
fun.
want me to volunteer?
I did it one
And a
year.
dummy. He was the dummy.
He did it
Somebody
one year,
illegal
and
said I can't do it
I've been
anymore.
told never again. I've been told don't put a person in the car ever again.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So yes, there
I thought
are
that was great.
also the firefighters have a spray hose thing they can do, and the truck will be out there, and we'll do an extrication, and we'll invite a drum line has come through before. We'll invite them again. I mean, we'll bring back some of the prior things, but it's more the car show and the food trucks that we would like to replace with some things that we think will draw more people that will come and stay.
How about a dunk the mayor tank?
It's on my list.
We-
Joke.
Do we have a volunteer?
A dunk tank is on the list.
We did that in the past. I spent hours in that thing.
Yeah.
It was
So,
fun though.
Yeah,
It was
a dunk
fun,
tank
but
is
yeah,
on the list, so we're
it was
kind
fun.
of changing some of the
So you
activities.
volunteer?
Live music.
I've done it before.
My
I
wife
can do
will
it
stand
again.
there all day.
We all can.
So,
No, it is. It's fun.
yeah, but, so
So-
trying to shift it a little bit.
So the firemen, they already have the big grills, the tents, everything that's needed to set up? Are they doing the cooking?
The union, yeah,
Union.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah, the
All right.
firefighters.
Oh, so
So,
we get them to help us out?
oh,
Right.
They've
okay.
already said that they would,
Oh,
great.
awesome, sweet.
Okay.
so. Now, I asked several months ago, so I will follow up with them.
Yeah.
But,
Yes.
yes, yeah. So
Great.
that's the shift that we're looking to make,
Okay.
so.
Yeah, and then everything, keep everything on the cheap, on the
Yeah.
down low, so it's good for everybody.
Yeah.
That's a
And
good
we
idea.
do, like a beverage tent, so we would ask you guys to help kind of volunteer in there. And we'll have you switch through so no one's in it for the full, several hours. We'll have a couple at a time and swap out. And
And you said the 7th, the time slot you're setting up?
we
Do you have
tend
it yet?
we're still trying to finalize that. It will be somewhere between like 11 and 3. But
Okay.
I would not expect necessarily that whole window, but plan for that.
No, but that's what, that's
Yeah,
what,
but it'll
we
be
would
at
invite the
Midday.
community.
Yes,
Yeah.
midday.
Okay.
Yeah. So. Do you have anything else on that one?
No, you pretty much nailed it.
Okay. I do have one other spring event thing that just popped up the end of the week last week. We the band contacted the city, requested a meeting with Mayor Penny, and actually met to let him know that they are planning to dissolve. So their membership is down. The storms hit them pretty hard. A lot of people moved. Many of the band members weren't necessarily residents of the city anyway, but it changed a lot for them, I think. They've had a hard time even finding music that they're able to play because they don't have certain instruments at all anymore.
yeah.
So
Okay.
you can't play certain songs if you don't have,
Yes.
a clarinet, and it needs a clarinet.
Right.
So they are planning to dissolve. They have an event scheduled, I think, for early March in like Seminole, and that was going to be their final event. I reached out and asked if they would hold a concert here as well, so that we could do sort of a farewell for them. They've been around since the 80s, and so we want to kind of mark that for them. They've agreed and offered to do a concert on Sunday, March 22nd. So if you all are okay with that, we would like to have them hold that concert, and we would like to
Where are they gonna do that?
at the park.
In the park?
Yeah, it'll be in the park. So assuming weather holds up, to do that on Sunday, March 22nd, and with y'all's approval, I'd like
Is it
to.
a Sunday?
Yeah, it's a Sunday. I'd like to use some city funds to have some light refreshments and maybe do some, farewell banners and whatnot, and potentially put together, like a small gift basket for each of the remaining members. T-shirt, that kind
That's
of
a good
thing.
idea.
So, we'll check what we've got in our special activities, budget for that. I'm hoping that we would have some left over in what we budgeted for the block party, since we won't be paying for the car show. So if you're all are okay with that, I'd like to use some of that, and if you're available, please plan to come. So yeah, it'll be sort of their farewell concert for the community. So that just kind of came up end of last week. We just
No,
went up.
that'll be a
Sorry.
good hit. No, no,
It
that's-
was, they
no,
came
we haven't
over
had
and
a,
I was
no,
like,
that's a
"John."
good, no, that'll be good though,
So-
that'll be good.
Okay.
That'll be, but it is,
Did they get their instruments out of City Hall?
a
before?
lot of them,
Some of
some
them,
were, some were not. Some
yeah,
they
they
had, there
lost
was
a lot.
drums and like just about all their sheet music and everything. I mean, yeah,
lost a lot.
they took a beat.
That's really expensive,
Yeah.
because they told us, remember they told us that to get the sheet music for all the instruments, really
Yeah,
expensive.
no, they took a beat and it was,
Mhm.
the
And
whole
they're,
thing was sad.
they're having to pay to store a lot of that stuff now because they had a room here where they could store things, and that room has been gutted. And, we haven't been able to give them any kind of.
They have
firm-
nowhere to practice.
They're trying to find, it's just, we told them we most likely won't have a space for you for at least the next couple of years. We're short on space for the city stuff now. I mean, I would love to give them space, but we don't have it to give. And, that's not the cause, but I think it's a factor because they're having to pay for storage. So it's costing them more to function now than it was costing them pre-storm. But besides that, their membership is down. So, yeah. So not a happy report, but at least we're able to have that event for them. And please come if you can. I think they'd appreciate it. So,
Yeah, a lot of good people that are in that.
yeah. So in it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
So
Anything else?
that was it.
Chief, you have anything for us?
Yes, sir.
Terry?
No.
Okay.
Fire station open house next Saturday.
Yep. Oh, I got something for Terry. Why don't you come up here?
It's my cue to hide.
Yep, run.
Can you give us an update on what's going on as far as Chipotle and other? I see, well, there's a sign is off the Wendy's. I mean, has that been rented? Do we know? Just,
I've not heard a
okay.
thing.
So, I'm usually one of the last ones to know, so they decide to apply for the permits.
As far as Take 5, we had issued the permit for the closure of that median. I haven't heard any changes.
Okay.
Nothing's been submitted to change that, so it hasn't moved anywhere.
Well, the horse and jockey came out and said that they didn't have to do it anymore. Did we do anything with, or is that just rumor mill?
Not heard a thing.
Interesting.
Nothing's come down from FDOT,
Okay.
nothing's come from the Take 5
Okay,
owners. I haven't heard anything.
interesting.
As far as Chipotle, we are still in the site plan review. I believe they
They have their comments, and I think we Wells Fargo is still working on their permit information. They submitted permits, we had some comments, and we're waiting for them to get back to us on that.
What about Bank of America, what are they doing?
They have not filed anything yet.
And didn't you say they had removed that temporary thing for a while?
So, yes, so it's temporary. Usually, in normal circumstances, that's less than 180 days. Because of the storm situation, we have been very lenient in that. It's,
Been no activity.
something's got to happen soon,
Yeah.
but I haven't pushed the envelope on that because I know it's a lot of work to get that building back up and get the design and all that stuff. So we're kind of being.
Are they planning to do it as far as you know?
Initially, we had conversations about it. I haven't heard anything in a long time.
I wonder if
So-
they don't open it and just have the one down there on 66. That's my bank. So I hope they
Yeah.
don't.
I have no idea.
And
whether-
what else? Kelly's now, that's,
So yes,
Gone.
we saw that Kelly's has closed. I have not heard anything coming soon or anything about that. Have not had conversations with people about Dunkin' Donuts, but nothing's come in, solid that I can say anything about.
the building on the corner of Shore Drive.
The marijuana places.
So yes, so the, my understanding is, well, it was applied for as a True Leave, which is a marijuana dispensary. They have, their permit is ready to be issued. We're waiting on an appraisal. So they submitted the documents stating that they were basing it on the appraisal number, so that they didn't have to bring it up to current code. They did not submit the appraisal. So as soon as we get the appraisal, if the numbers work, we'll be able to issue that
So are they
permit.
thinking about keeping that building?
Yes,
and
the
just
building will
using-
remain the same, they're just remodeling it. So that's where,
Hospital,
Sits.
nothing.
no, I don't know of any projects at the hospital.
And Jay's is still not anything going on that?
Nope, we had received a site plan review and nothing's moved forward after that.
Was that the car wash that was?
Yes.
How hard would it be for you to put together a map of available properties in the city, primarily on Pasadena Avenue? Like, I'm envisioning like an aerial street map, aerial photograph, like Google Earth, and the little red dots, empty, 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 empty. Damage waiting for this, damage waiting on that. Something at a glance. I know you've got a lot on your plate, and if that's too much,
I can see what I can do. Unfortunately, I have a list of like the businesses that did not come back or the
Right.
businesses that have left. I don't usually find out about like Kelly's being empty.
yeah.
You guys knew that before I did.
And the executive building, that's still.
The executive building has a permit. They've been working on that permit. They are using private providers, so I'm not seeing much of it. But they are, my understanding is they are rebuilding that in the same the layout is the same.
So they're keeping the building and just doing work inside?
Yeah, the entire building was basically gutted. So they're keeping the building, keeping a very similar layout. They had to add, we made them add a exterior staircase, a remote staircase.
It's a weird building, isn't it?
They're gonna make
Very.
it smaller, rentable units, there'll be more.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
we're-
God, it's awful.
So once that comes back, I'm assuming we'll have quite a few businesses come back into that space. And that was, I think, the majority of the businesses that left were in that building. Because they cleared 3 stories of very small businesses.
The Wells Fargo building, were there 2 or 3 attorneys on that building, or any of them back
Correct.
in there yet?
No.
No, okay, okay, that entire building is empty.
Yeah,
All right.
they got flooded, so they have to.
So is Valencia still gonna be Chase?
I have not heard anything since Mr. Valente passed.
And of course, Dunkin' Donuts, we don't know about that.
Yeah, we've had some inquiries about Dunkin' Donuts, but nothing's come through in paperwork. So,
Somebody's going to really do something on that building. It is. I walked
Like
through.
looking at that Chinese restaurant, isn't it? I mean, that awful Chinese restaurant.
Does not take a lot.
It's just a shame. So many buildings are empty in our businesses.
That's why I want to see a map, something that just shows the empty
I can-
parcels, vacant
I can
buildings,
try.
you know.
I
can
bet
put
Kelly
together
could
a
help
map.
you with that. She's so good. I mean, I don't think it has to be exact. It's more
Just kinda
where
gives a-
everything
gives
is,
an
right?
Overview of where we are as a city as far as our commercial property corridor, because it's,
Are there things available?
Plaza too, in the back, you know, the horseshoe shaped portion, they kind of boogie.
Yeah.
Across the-
And what about the shopping center? Are there empties in there too?
At the Walmart Shopping Center. Yeah, that's what he was
There's a,
talking
there's a
about.
couple.
Oh.
Not a ton, though.
In that corner area? Is that where it is?
Yeah.
one last, any word on an Aldi conversion of Winn-Dixie?
Did we just get that Aldi portion?
Not recently.
Nothing back. So we're waiting on them to resubmit.
But they've started the process,
Yes,
as far as,
it's been a while.
They pulled, I
Yeah,
read an
oh, yeah,
article
we-
that they're pulling back in some areas.
well, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
That's why I
You know,
asked you.
because I know they put a big one in, on Park Boulevard in Seminole,
Yeah, they just finished it.
near
just
where
opened.
Carly lives. And that, I don't think they're using that whole building, because it's smaller, but, they were talking about pulling back on several of the Aldis that they were gonna put in, so we don't know.
Because there's one at 66 in Tyrone now.
In Tyrone?
Yeah.
Yeah. So. We want to have more businesses, more for you to do.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's what we want.
I will make time.
I know you will.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, Terry.
No
Anybody else have
problem.
anything? All right, in that case, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Okay.